Okay, hope everybody had a good summer. Now you're ready for your wintertime project. Yeah. Okay, here's the grate. I brought it down from the boat so we could have it down here and get a good idea on exactly what she looked like and how you're gonna work on putting your grate together. Uh, as you can see, there's 7 slats on one side and there's 6 slats on another. And of course you have to do that because it's uneven in number, but you want these slats to be the same width apart all the way across. So in total you are going to have 13 slats. And these slats, the cockpit was 29.5 inches wide by 74.5 inches long. Now I know you work with the metric, so you'll have to convert this to your metric system, and you might be better off just to do it in inch measurements if you can, because you want to get the width of the slats right. All right, as you can see, these are now the length of the length of the slats from the front to the back are 74.25. And the width of it is going to be 29.5, I believe. I ran these almost all the way to the edges of the cockpit, so they're going to be like 29.5 here. And these slats are 1.7 inches. They're actually 1.7 inches. And that's the biggest challenge, is getting the slat measurements right and getting the gapping right. You don't want them to look funny. Now, one note to remember is that your saw blade is going to be about 1/8 of an inch wide. And you have to make sure that you get, when you cut it, where you cut it at. Doesn't really matter where you cut it at, because as you know, when you put them together, they all look the same. There's no seam up here in the middle anywhere. The seams are right down the middle. So you have to remember that when you cut the center slat, you have to allow for the width of the blade for your saw, which is about 1/8 of an inch wide. So allow for that when you cut the slat in the middle. Now, for the pedestal itself, I remember using a dinner plate for this. You can come up with different techniques, but that worked the best for me. I used a dinner plate and just marked all the way around the edge, and then cut this out last, and that worked fairly well. Now on the back half of these grates, you're going to have the cross members all the way down, and there are 6 cross members, and then you have a partial cross member for the pedestal here, because you have to allow for the pedestal columns in the front, so you can't be completely rounded, because you have the front of your pedestal. Another thing about these slats, these cross members, is you have to round them a little bit on the edges. If you don't round these edges, you'll tear your cockpit up, because your cockpit is a little bit rounded on the edges. And as you can see, I did use I think I used copper screws for this, so they wouldn't rust, and I countersunk them a little bit, so you don't tear the bottom of your cockpit up. And you can also buy these pads for furniture, and that's what I used to keep them. It'll also keep the grates from rattling on your cockpit, because they can be noisy. And these Westerbeek engines they vibrate a little bit, so you'll want to do that. It'll cut down on the noise. So that's kind of it. Other than routering the edges, you want to router the edges a little bit, so you'll have a not so squared off look. I didn't square off the ends on either end, but I just squared off all of the planks themselves. Okay, I hope that helps. And if you have any problem, let me know. I'll see if I can help you work through some of the things you might run into. The main thing is you're going to need a table router to router the edges if you want to router the edges. I guess you really don't have to. But I got this little kit at Farm and Fleet, which is one of our local hardwares, and I think it was like 14 bucks or something like that. And a lot of this stuff you can find online. You'll really need a table saw. Drill press helps, but you'll need the table router for sure, and a jigsaw so you can cut out the center. So I hope that helps. And hope to hear from you, and good luck with this project over the winter. Okay, bye for now.